Hi, this is Sue Scheets and with this episode of Sushi's Stampin' Snippets. My blog is sushystamps.blogspot.com. But tonight, my little snippet is going to be about our new Inkpads. I have learned a couple of new tricks in the last 2 weeks when I've been using them that I want to share with you. Now this is our old Inkpad, and you're probably all familiar with the way we had to open it. We had to push the top layer back, pull it forward, and click it shut, and then when we wanted to shut it, pull it towards us all the way, flip it over, and snap it shut. And what several of my customers and myself found out, sometimes that top lid just fell off. I want to show you, Stampin'Up knew a lot of the problems that we had with these old sets and created a new design. First of all, the look on the front is a little bit different. It's our new 30-year logo. If you compare the sides of the stamp pads, the new ones are a little bit thinner and they're stackable. There's a tiny little dot on the back and a tiny little groove on the front so that you can easily stamp some of your stamp pads together. Let me show you. I've got about 4 of them right here. So they just easily fit in with each other, and then they're very stackable as a way to store them, or if you're using them in a project. All right. So they open very easily. Now they might be a little stiff at first because they're new, but if you they open like a compact, like this. You just push your fingers together and pull it open, and if it's brand new and stuck a little bit, you can kind of do that 3 and 4 times to kind of loosen it up a little bit. You open it up, and then you are going to push it together, similar to what we had to do with our old set. And this is also a little stiff. But they close just like the other one did. Now here's one of the hints. When you're getting ready to then close it up all together, you just take your thumb and push very gently on the edge, and then your finger can get in this spot where the groove is and pull it open. A lot easier than if you didn't start it on the other end. I tried before I learned that trick and I got ink all over my fingers. And then they just snap shut. It's a lot tighter snap or closure, and that way ink doesn't leak up on the sides. Now the other new feature to these new stamp sets, and I'm going to show you with this one, is the way you can label them. The labels are on the back as before. I'm going to have to put my head over here and make sure I get it off right. And there is the color label, and then several different languages. And then the thing that I didn't notice at first, at the very bottom, is a plain strip. So I just used the one with the color on the inside and then threw away everything else, and so I missed, I had to write with my marker the actual name, but I saved one to show you, and this one I'm going to do right. So you take off your first label, and this goes in the same spot on the ink pad that the labels did on our old ones. Goes right on this edge. Come on. You know, when you're filming yourself, nothing goes exactly the way you want it to. All right, so there it is, right where I want it to go. And then the other strip is meant to go on the inside, because when you open this ink pad up, you have no idea if it's green or if it's blue or if it's brown or if it's black. And so they created this plain strip right here so that you could put it in this little groove up here. Well, I tried that with several of my ink pads and I ended up with ink all over my fingers. So I did watch the Stampin' Up video, and they suggested that you could also put your little strip on the side, because it doesn't really matter where the strip is. The important thing about the strip is now when this pad is open, I'm going to know that I've got Call Me Clover. Then you just shut it up, and so now you have a strip on the front with the name and a strip on the side that when you open up your pad you can see what color you have. So I hope this little snippet will help you with your ink pads, and come back again next week for another snippet. I'm going to talk to you about how I put together my bundles. Happy stamping!